January 7, 1978, December 2nd, 2012, was an American serial killer, bank robber, burglar, arsonist, kidnapper, and sex offender. He murdered at least 3 people and committed dozens of other crimes across the United States from the late 1990s to February 2012. Keyes was arrested in March 2012 and killed himself while awaiting trial. Evidence in his jail cell led the Federal Bureau of Investigation, FBI, to suspect that Keyes murdered 11 people. On July 9, 1998, Keyes relocated and enlisted in the United States Army in the state of New York, where he served as a specialist in Alpha Company, 1st Battalion, 5th Infantry, 25th Infantry Division. He passed a month-long preliminary course for United States Army Rangers training. He was stationed at Fort Lewis and Fort Hood, also spending some time abroad. While stationed in Sinai, Egypt, Keyes befriended several soldiers, informing one of them that he would like to kill him. Keyes targeted random people all across the United States to avoid detection, planning for months before he committed a particular crime. He specifically frequented campgrounds and isolated locations. He claimed to only use guns when he had to, and preferred strangulation. This was due to the pleasure he derived from witnessing victims lose consciousness in the struggle. He claimed to not kill children or parents of children, primarily because of his daughter, whom he feared finding out about him and his crimes. However, police and FBI investigators were skeptical of this claim and suspected Keyes of killing several teenagers and children. During interviews with FBI agents and officials in Alaska, Keyes directly admitted to 3 murders whose identities were confirmed. After Koenig's murder, Keyes demanded ransom money, and police were able to track withdrawals from her account as he moved throughout the southwestern U.S. During that time, the police controversially refused to release surveillance video of Koenig's abduction. Keyes was arrested by Texas Highway Patrol Corporal Brian Henry and Texas Ranger Stephen Rayburn in the parking lot of the Cotton Patch Cafe in Lufkin, Texas, on the morning of March 13, 2012. Investigators had circulated a lookout bulletin for the suspect's car, which had been used at ATMs to withdraw money from Koenig's account.
Have to be then a different types of equipment. Let me just try to call him. Let's step out and try to call him.
Yep.
This is not answering his phone.
And do you, I guess, because I'm kind of getting a different vibe now, do you still envision in the future us working together to the point where we can get this information?
Yeah, I don't see how we're gonna get anything else done. I just,
I mean, I know you're waiting for, whatever you're waiting for to find out, but
yeah, I have concerns with current issues, but, I can definitely proceed down the road. There's gonna be a lot more that can be resolved.
and that's good.
By going about it in a different manner.
Okay. Well, but that's good information because we'll be able to pass that on. If
Yeah.
you're still open and you're still.
No, I haven't. My outlook on this, as far as the ultimate end result, hasn't really changed. It's just has more to do with timelines, expectations, I guess.
But and we're the balancing game that we're talking about doing is we're just trying to keep everybody happy the best we can till we get to that point, and that's kind of a difficult balancing act for us.
Right. And it sounds like you're holding on to some of this stuff to trade in for something you might need later. True?
Well, yeah, because I'm not gonna have much else to.
Well, I mean, that's the thing is, this whole clue idea, might give us a little short-term solution to kind of keep this thing moving the way we want it to move. And maybe even gets you something in the short term, if you're thinking about like, I don't know, you come, you give a clue and, you want lunch or something like that. I mean, that's something that can be worked out.
You need a candy bar.
I know, that's what I think, I don't know if he feels guilty about it, but.
If you had a cigar, you'd probably pass out if you had a cigar right now.
But I mean, the notion of this whole idea is, hey, you come over, we keep things going, at least on a smaller scale. You're not giving up anything in terms of trading value, but you're giving us credibility with other people we have to deal with. You're not giving us any useful information really, other than, all right, well, we got, a knife in Washington. It's not like we're gonna solve the clue game on that, like, Professor Plum in the library and that thing. But it gives us a little bit of, stuff to go back with people and buy time and buy what we need to buy. And, in the short term, if you have short-term needs that you think, might be fun to have sushi. That's something that, can be arranged. We're not talking about, huge clues here.
What did you guys find in the boat? Was there anything left?
I thought we went over
Yeah.
10 clues.
I saw the list.
There was no knife. Oh, you mean in terms of the lab?
Yeah.
It has not, everything has not gone to, finished up at DNA yet. So it's possible that there were some areas that did test positive for blood, just when they do like they call it the presumptive test, when the people that were searching it. So those things went into the lab, and some of those things were like the screws from holding the carpeting in, and that kind of thing. Those have not come back yet from DNA. The little, there were some little fragments that they thought might have been bone fragment, was not bone, did not test positive for bone. That one's come back.
Sand or something.
Yeah, they didn't, we didn't ask what it was, but it wasn't bone.
Right.
There's some hair that is not yours. But the way they figure out hair.
I was mostly curious if they found any blood.
Yeah, there
I
was.
just wasn't sure how long, because it's been sitting there in the rain for so long. I was curious if there was, I mean, I know there was when I parked it.
Yeah, there was. We haven't heard anything back about it, and then they need something to compare it with.
Right.
So there's no knife?
No knife, there was no knife in the boat.
It may have been, I don't know what happened to that night. It was a Tonto, cold steel Tonto.
How big? Like, was it just?
It had it was a 4.5 inch folding blade. And I think I bought it at Walmart in Orlando.
Do you remember what color any of it was?
It looks very similar to the one that I had on me when I was arrested. Just a different blade style, same company and everything, I think.
So if I'm correct about that, that was the murder weapon for one of the Washington murders.
Well, it was involved.
It was involved.
I think we talked about before when we were asking about federal jurisdiction about guns.
Yeah.
Were any of their relatives been shot?
No.
No. Strangled?
We'll get the whole story eventually.
Right, we're just looking to get parts so that we can move.
No, the only person I ever shot was Bill Courier.
Everybody else is strangled.
Yeah.
Or, I don't want to have the wrong impression, so everybody else is strangled or goes through something else.
So one of the Washington things that was doesn't matter. It's just no, it wasn't strangled. I hit somebody in the head, so.
Did you mean to kill him or did you? is there a struggle and you hit them and they died, or did you mean to kill them that way?
No, I wasn't trying to kill him, I just, took him out of action.
Read that in one of those letters with the male and the female couple.
Yeah. I sort of, I don't know. Rich mentioned that they gave you all that stuff. So, I should have asked them to give me copies so I know which ones you have.
We could go over that together and we could fill in the blank at some point in time.
Well, we know in
I
Washington.
didn't realize they were allowed to take stuff out of my shoulder, but I wasn't mainly. I was pretty safe on that.
Well, we know for that there was a couple in Washington State, a male female couple. We read that in the note. Are those the same couple from that you took to the boat and dumped in the lake? Or are there others?
They went in that hole.
No.
Yeah. They were buried.
Yeah, that was a while.
That was a long time ago. Right after the, is that right after the military? You told me once right after the military, after you got out of the military.
It was before I got the boat.
And you were told this one